Welcome to the part 2 episode of the labor reforms with our founder of Bitsol India, Mr. Ashok Nawal. Before I ask him the next line of questions, tap on the card visible on your screen for those who haven't watched part 1 of the labor reforms episode. Now let's welcome Mr. Ashok Nawal. Hello sir, how are you doing today?
Yeah, thank you, Rohan, for inviting me again. Hope you are absolutely fine and everybody listener is also fine. We pray that Corona will go immediately and we can continue our growth pattern in India.
Amazing. Now I have another set of questions for you around the labor reforms, and the first question from it is, what are the codes other than what we have discussed in previous episode?
Last time we have covered the Code of Wages and Code of Social Security. Now we will be covering two more codes, Industrial Relation Code and Occupational Safety, Health, Working Conditions Code 2020.
So my second question is, which are the acts which are subsumed and what are the important changes in industrial codes?
Industrial Relation Code subsumes three acts: Trade Union Act, Industrial Dispute Act and Industrial Employment Act. So these three acts will be subsumed in the Industrial Relation Code. Now if you see, this is what is most important is, now every person will have to give minimum notice for 14 days, then only he can do strike or employer can do the lockout. That is the first important change. Even mass leave, mass absenteeism is also considered to be a strike without notice. The important part, this will be applicable establishment where less than 300 people are there. Not more than, equal to 300 or more workers are there, more employees are there, then only Industrial Relation Code is applicable. If you have less employees, Industrial Relation Code is not applicable to you at all. You need not worry about the trade union, red flag or any other flag of INTUC, ITUC or Bharatiya Mazdoor Sangatna and so called and so forth. So earlier it was 100. The important is permission of closure. You need not to have. Layoff will be required when you have more than 300. Earlier it was 100. So if you have up to 300 or more persons, then only layoff you have to seek the permission. Otherwise no permission is required. Permission for closure also will not be required if you are less than 300 people. And dispute relating to the termination of individual worker, it is respect to discharge, dismissal, retrenchment or termination, all those individual worker also can covered under the industrial dispute. And worker will apply to directly industrial tribunal which will be set up for this purpose, so that an industrial tribunal will have one judicious member and one technical member. So every worker or every employee who has got the grievances with the employer will be covered under this. This is the major important change. So now the earlier we used to be afraid. I know my militant area that time in 1981, that 81 to 90 era, or rather I will put it 78 to 81 era. Absolutely, doing the industry itself was this one. Every time there used to be a strike and lockout, more than working days there was industry was to get closed. Now such type of situations will not be there. So this is a major change in the industrial relation.
So my next set of questions are around the Occupational Safety and Working Conditions Code. The first question is, which are the acts subsumed in it?
This act has been made a lengthy name by Occupational Safety, Health and Working Condition. What is foremost important here, safety of any employee. Health and working condition of employee are important, and that is the reason this code has been made separately, where 13 acts were subsumed. Factories Act, Plantation Labor Act, Mine Act, Working Journalist and Other Newspapers Employee Act, Working Journalist Act, Motor Transport Workers Act, BD and Cigarette Workers Act, Contract Labor Act, Sales Promotion Employee Act, Interstate Migrant Workmen Act, Cine Workers Cinema Theatres Workers Act, Dock Workers Act, Building and Other Constructions Worker Act. All those are subsumed and have common provision under the Occupational Safety and Health Working Condition Code.
So continuing to my previous question, what are the objectives of this code?
It mainly to provide the flexibility and to include necessary provisions in the code, which will be enforcing rules and regulations in tune of emerging technologies. So, what are the emerging technologies there? Let us say environment pollution and all green technology. All those things will be covered under this, and employee health, employees work hazard should not be there. All those has been considered as a prime angle for setting up this objective.
So what are the advantages of this code?
The advantages of this, if you see it mainly 13 acts has been consolidated in one, which will help monitoring, easy compliances and benefit, both for the employees and employees. Now, you have employees, there are different types of, act. He was to refer the provisions and then he can make a grievances. Here now, for every employee, his health conditions are very important. Occupational safety is important. Working conditions are important. So, it is better for employee also and employer also. There will be one registration, one license, one return and one common authority. For 13, there is not different persons, only one registration is required. Most importantly, even though state will be monitoring this act, central act, they will be making the rules for that. It will be a single all India license valid for 5 years for engaging contract labor. So, one contractor can engage across in India any types of employees, and he will have to only have one all India license. Employers to avoid safety norms, that has been made very stricter, and this one. So, safety norms for the employees is the utmost important, and that is the advantage for both as a protecting the human lives. Of course, this code do not apply to the apprentices and trainees and articles. Web-based inspection for facilitation and inspection will be there for easy and smooth process. And inspector cum facilitator will guide to the employers to comply the codes rather than only imposing the penalty. So, corruption will go out.
So what are the conditions for the contract employees under this code?
Provisions will apply where 50 or more contract employees are employed. More than, or even the contractor engaging more than 50 employees, that conditions are mandatory for them. The most important change and a positive change is all welfare facilities of the company, as per the law, will have to be extended to the contract labor also. Whether it may be a canteen, whether it may be a creches, it may be anything, medical, all those facilities will be provided to the contract employees also. And if contractor or a principal employer is engaging any workers without license, then it will be considered as a violation. Strict compliance will be there. The most importantly, today I can increase numbers of contract employees based on my requirement. It is not mandatory that I will engage a particular persons. So, this is the flexibility which has been given, and when he receives the fresh work order, he will have to initiate. he will have to inform. And contractor will be responsible for payment of wages, not through cash. It will be only bank transfer facility, and it has to be paid on 7th, otherwise principal employer is bound to pay him on 7th. So contract employees will be highly benefited for this, or rather it will be protected. Then contractor fails to make the payment, principal employer is responsible. Contractor will issue the experience certificate to the contract employee. Today contractor is not issuing any certificate. That now certificate of employment and experience he has to furnish. Code provides a common license, not work specific licenses. And no contractor can engage any employees without a license. License can be issued and renewed electronically. And once it is issued, it will be valid for 5 years. So that again and again contractor or contract employee should not have the problem. The most important is contract employees are treated at par with normal employees. No discrimination, no exploitation of contract employees.
So, what are the penalties and offenses under this code?
Penalties and offenses has made multifold higher rate of penalties for any violations, and if any, because of occupational safety or health, if any person is died, whether the contract employee or a permanent employee, it is punishable with imprisonment up to 2 years and fine of 5 lakhs. And if so, the penalty is very high. And for any other violation, if date is other than the death, if penalty is not specified, employer will be penalized with a fine between 2 to 5 lakhs. And most importantly, civil courts are barred for hearing the matter. It is only the industrial tribunal will hear the matter. So that time-bound decision will be given.
So, when the date is not notified, what will you advise?
Yeah, Rohan, even though all 4 codes were supposed to be implemented by 1st of April 2021. Even the central government has notified the draft rules which state government was to adopt. Jammu government has already announced the draft rules, Jammu and Kashmir. Some other states have also announced the state rules, but because of pandemics, other state government could not notify the rules. All those rules will have to be made applicable. So even though it has not been made immediately effective, it will come no sooner things than normalcy is established. Let's say earliest it can come on the 1st October, or latest it can come on the 1st April 2022. But one need not forget, Section 142 of the Code of Social Security 2020 has been already notified. It means what? Whether the workers in unorganized sector or contract employees has to link their Aadhaar with PF and ESIC. All retirement benefits will be attached to that. That is already made impact. And most importantly, today, if I'll say blessing in disguise, the situation has come and so it has been postponed. Otherwise, what was the preparedness of ours? Industry has to prepare, revisit their all HR strategies, revisit their standing orders, revisit their employee code. All those they will have to revisit and redecide their strategies. Definition of wages has been defined separately, and therefore need to review some of the traditional salary components. As I said, 50% overall CTC, 50% has to be considered as a wages. Thereby, it is a long-term impact. Net take-home salary will be lower of the employee. Those savings will be higher. And because of overtime position making it mandatory to all levels, the cost is also going to increase. So working hours and working conditions will have to be weighed and absolutely followed. The important is some paid to the employee persons to defray special expenses. So all those allowances and all those things has already come into aspect of wages. Now earlier, if you do not have the proper safety hazards, if you do not taking a health conditions better, and there was no much of the control, but now there will be a control. It will be applicable. You have to treat all employees together, whether the contract employee or otherwise employees. All welfare facilities has to be made important. So you will have to revisit your infrastructure too. Revisit your salary is the first issue. Revisit of your code of conduct, code of ethics, employee handbook, or strategies you will have to revisit. Which structure you will have to revise. Overtime is going to make applicable to all. Working hours condition, flexible hour conditions may give the relief. All those aspects you need to do it. You will have to focus on budgeting and control. Gratuity, earlier there was a 20 lakh rupees a cap. Now there is no such cap. If you have the fixed time employees, even though he doesn't complete 5 years, you are duty bound to pay the gratuity, and gratuity also will come higher because wages definition has been defined separately. Leave encashment, bring down the leave encashment limit, encash leaves before the labor code kick in. Perhaps that may be the situation. PF contribution on statutory limit, which is there up to 15,000, whether it will extend or not, that rules will define. But you will have to work on the budgeting and cost control. Compensation structure you will have to revisit, and contracts, policies and practice, every company will have to revisit before this code is implemented. As far as employers are concerned, what they should do it? They should form the task force which consists of HR people, legal people, finance, experts from outside like us. Set up the internal task force. Revisit all those aspects which we said. Work out the financial impact on the company. Wages, social security scheme, fixed term employee, consultants, redecide your recruitment strategies. Realign your component of the code, wages. Incorporate labor code impact. Assess your technology readiness. Assess your infrastructure to see that occupational and safety and health working conditions are. And whatever the difficulties are there, you will have to start representing to the government. Because 50% of the total CTC, the wages is too high, even the workers, their net take home will be get affected. And employers also will be high because their cost to the company will be going high. Overtime is also considered in the part of a CTC, and therefore it will have also the impact, roaring and re-rolling impact of redeciding the wages, recalculating of wages and payroll. It will be complex. So certain things will have to work, give the representation to the government, and your focus has to be 100% compliance because penalties are very high. Of course, I also say government should almost think whether this 50% can be excluded, and you can say 75 total CTC wages should not be more than 25% or something like that. Gratuity calculation, enhanced gratuity calculation, kindly see that implementation with prospective effect and not retrospective effect. Now let us say take a case. Earlier my wages CTC to wages ratio was 10 to 15%. Now it will go to 50%. So my salary will go up, and wages is always, gratuity is always calculated based on last salary return. Therefore, this implementation should have the prospective effect and not the retrospective effect. Today, permission is not needed if it is the 3,000 workers. Now, industry demands for 1,000 workers. Secret ballot has to be there for the unions when multiple unions are there, and managerial and supervisory should be excluded from the overtime. This has to be made immediately, and fixed term employees also is covered under the gratuity even though it doesn't complete 5 years. So that has to be, government has to revisit, and this implementation date has to be notified much in advance rather than guessing work for the industry and trade.
Sir, how shall you sum up all the codes, or what would you comment on how the way the codes are structured right now?
I'll put it and salute to the Modi that he has thought about industry and he has thought about long-term planning for the workmen. Their social security is most important. Industry where they work, establishment they work, their safety work, occupational safety is the prime most important. Working environment is the prime important, and health is prime most important. So, Industrial Relation Act provisions has been relaxed so that there will be I will say, the trend of increasing the productivity. More and more industries will come up. They will not be afraid of labor unions. All of them will work. And most importantly, contract employees or permanent employees are treated as a par. All those facilities which are available to the permanent employees also will have to be extended to the normal contract employees. Gender discrimination has been totally avoided. Male, female, transgender will get, if they are working in the same working environment and same working conditions, same skill set of operations, their salary, their promotions, their recruitment, their transfers, all that will have no gender difference. So this is also the far-reaching impact on the trade and industry. Overall, this labor code comes and start implementing. Earlier is the better, because employees will be benefited, employers will be benefited, and this will be the win-win situation. All the trade and industry, all the workers' union should agree to the common cause that these codes are protective to the employees as well as employer, because it is a trade friendly and it is a facilitator rather than Inspector Raj. So corruptions will go out. Let's see that how soon these labor codes are implemented. Before that, this time trade and industry has to work on their strategizing and the work which they have to do to see that they are 100% compliant.
Sir, how can BITSOL be a helping hand in this?
Yeah, being experts in this area, BITSOL takes the prime importance and focus on 100% compliance. Simultaneously also sees that cost of the company should not go up. Therefore, BITSOL will assist to the employers that restructuring of their wages, restructuring of their salaries. That is the first point. The second point, revisiting their infrastructure, whether it is having the norms which has been specified in all 4 codes. Rewriting on the standing orders based on all the 4 codes put together, and revisiting all the HR strategies, whether we should hire the fixed term employees, whether we should hire the contract employees, what we should do, all that BITSOL will advise, so that company in the longer run do not take long-term liabilities, or they can take the responsibility only when they are good in their working, they are working good. And most importantly, benefit of workers also will have to be kept in the mind. That cannot be compromised. And since the Trade Union Act has been relaxed, how their productivity will increase, all those aspects, revisiting their IR strategies, HR strategies, that BITSOL will provide.
Thank you, sir, for hand-holding us around the codes, and we seek to have more of it in the future.
Thank you, Rohan, for selecting a right topic at the right time, because the industry needs to start working. All the best to all.
And that was all around the labor reforms. We know that when such acts are put in action, it does give rise to the cases of ifs and buts. But don't worry, you have our expert team at your disposal for any case. If you are the one who is caught up in the ifs and buts, simply get in touch with us on the below details and we shall be happy to help you. It is now time for me to say a goodbye. Take care and stay safe.